If you're struggling to save money, well, maybe this video is for you. I'm gonna show you how you can save some money. Welcome back to Keith Talks, guys. My name is Keith, and in this video, I talk about everything investment related, from stocks to cryptos and beyond. Now, I know that it's really hard to save money, and sometimes what you buy gets the better of you, and then you end up spending, and you don't even know how you racked up that credit card debt or how you're not able to save. But I promise you, and trust me, I have learned this from my personal experience, that you can save money with the right knowledge. And that's what I aim to do in this video. I've created this video to give you a guideline that you can follow to save money efficiently. And hey, we all start somewhere. So if you're not there yet, that's okay. It's not a problem. All that matters is that you're starting today. The first thing you need to do is that you need to set your financial goals. Now, here are 3 tips that you can use to set your financial goals. Number 1, write down a list of all of your expenses. Go through your credit card, go through your debit card, all the ways that you spend money, and write down exactly where your money is going. Everything from your housing costs to your Netflix subscription to the coffee that you buy every single day. Once you have this all written down, you can go on to number 2. When you're making this list, make sure that you're doing it over the course of the last 3 months. So when you're going through your credit card to see how many times you actually bought a coffee every single day, do that in the number of months so you have an adequate idea of how much money you're spending on average per month on that specific item. You might just be surprised on exactly how much you spend to buy that Starbucks latte. Now, number 3, what you want to do is, after you have this list, you want to organize this between your needs and your wants. For example, housing is something that you actually need versus a coffee is something that you just want. Once you've done this, you can actually start focusing on making financial goals. Now, goals can be of any sort. For example, a limit on how much you want to spend or save by the end of a month, or a few months, the end of the quarter, or the end of the year. The purpose of these goals are to reinforce the thought of saving, which will help you when you're contemplating whether you should be buying something or not. And these goals can be achieved by tracking your expenses and your income. Now, here are some tips that you can use that will help you create proper goals on how to save money. Number 1, focus on the needs category instead of the wants category. Now, housing is the most expensive expense that most people have. You spend more money on housing than you spend on anything else. And it just makes a lot more sense to decrease your cost on housing than to decrease your cost on anything else. Downsizing from your luxury condo or your fancy condo, or moving out of a house into a basement apartment, are all ways that you can attempt in finding ways to downsize and save money. Because just that $500 a month that you could be saving on your housing costs is guaranteed savings that you will have for your entire lease period, compared to trying to cut back on $300 of spending on Starbucks every single month. That is much harder. You might cave and you might stop, and then you might start buying Starbucks again. But then once you move out, you're not going to move back in until your lease is ended. So this is a guaranteed way to actually save money. Now, everyone's situation is different, and I do understand this. If you're living in a condo, then yeah, you can downsize to a basement apartment, or maybe try to find a way to downsize further. Maybe, depending on your situation, move back to your family's house, whatever you need to do to save that money. Let's say you actually bought a house and you own it, and that's killing you in terms of the housing cost expenses. Well, consider renting out that house and see if it financially makes sense after you crunch the numbers. If you rent out your house and move into a basement apartment, or if you move into your own basement and then rent out the top half of the house, will that help you save money on your overall cost? These are the ways you should be thinking about how to save money on housing. And this will take you a lot further than saving that coffee money. Number 2, when you're looking at your wants section, you're actually looking at a list of things that you identify with. And it's actually a lot harder to cut down on some of these things. So if you're a Starbucks addict, consider other ways to get your Starbucks without actually having to go to Starbucks. For example, You can go to Costco, you can buy that large coffee ground, maybe make a small investment into the coffee machine. You can get one off of Kijiji or even Amazon. And once you get that, you can make coffee yourself every day or your own lattes every day at home. This alone will save you tons of money. Number 3, ask yourself, what is it about your wants that you actually like? Here in this step, you need to see what actually brings you value. For example, maybe you always go to a hookah lounge because you love to smoke. Well, what is it that you love there? Is it the smoking aspect, or is it the environment, the social aspect where you could sit at a table with a bunch of friends and have a conversation? Depending on what your value is, you can find a way to save money there. If your value is actually smoking, then you can buy a hookah and smoke at home. But if value for you is spending the time with your friends, then there are alternative things you can do without having to spend that $20 or $40 every time you go out. For example, parks, picnics, trails, and many other things that are out there, especially if you live in a city. Number 4, automate your payments. You see, it's really annoying to have to take your phone out and manually transfer from your checking account after you get paid to your savings account and make sure that you're actually saving every single month. You see, even I don't do that. And if I had to do that, honestly, I'd probably forget. But what I do is I just automized it. I went online to my online banking and I just set up automatic payments forever, and they never expire. And basically, every time I get paid, money automatically goes from my checking account into my savings account. So I never need to worry about having to actually transfer money over. And I make sure this happens on my payday. So as soon as I get paid, the money is already in my savings account. And this is how I save all this cash. Number 5, get yourself a tracking app on your phone. You can use your tracking app to monitor your savings and your spendings and make sure that you're on the right track. Number 6, change your outlook on how you see some things. For example, if you have a bad habit of always buying Uber Eats and always getting that food delivered and you're just too lazy to cook, well, have a different outlook. Tell yourself, you know what, you want to start a new hobby and you're interested in cooking. And then follow some people on TikTok for cooking, follow some people on YouTube for cooking, and get into it. And once you get those influences projected onto you, those social media algorithms will continue to project those things back onto you. And then hopefully when you get that little bit of interest to cook, you're going to start cooking at home more often. Because sometimes when you change your perspective on something, you'll be more inclined to actually cook. Because let's be honest, the reason you always get Uber Eats is because you just don't want to cook. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you're too lazy. But whatever it is, if you change your personal outlook on something, you have a better chance of actually committing. And that's what this is about, committing. Number 7, find out if you're a task setter or a goal setter. Are you the type of person that needs a goal, like run every single day, for you to actually run every single day? Or are you the type of person who sets tasks, like get up in the morning and wear your gym clothes? And just by having a task as simple as getting up in the morning and putting on your gym clothes, as soon as you wear your clothes, you'll be more inclined to go out and go for a run. Depending on the type of person you are, you should cater your financial goals to either goals or tasks. If you're the type of person who needs to have tasks in order for you to do something, because it seems easier when it's something so small like putting on your gym clothes to run outside, then you'll be more inclined to actually do it. So make sure you figure that out. And the best way to do it is just trial and error. If you cater towards yourself, you'll get your goals achieved. Number 8, use the 50-20-30 rule to help you in your budget. This is where you divide your income into 3 parts: 50%, 20%, and 30%. 50% is on needs, 30% is on wants, and the rest 20% is for your savings. You can use this to determine how much you should actually be spending on housing. Now, let's talk about income. Now, everyone's situation is different. Maybe you're not making 50K or 40K a year. Maybe you're a doctor making 300K a year and you're overspending because you drive a Ferrari. Or maybe you're working a part-time job and you're making minimum wage and the income is just not even enough for you to save money at all. Maybe you are living at your parents' house and you're still having a hard time saving money. So in this scenario, you just really want to assess your situation. Where are you in life right now? Because depending on where you are in life, you may have to make some alterations and changes. For example, if you live in a very expensive city like New York or Toronto or even LA, then really ask yourself, why are you there? Is there something important, like your family is there and maybe you have some legal troubles, or you're not allowed to leave the city? What is it? Because if you don't really have any restrictions and nothing stopping you from just moving out maybe 45 minutes away where it's much cheaper and you can still get the same job where you're working right now, then why not make that change? Another thing is, are you able to actually get another part-time job? If you only have one part-time job and you're working about 24 hours a week, well, look into getting a second part-time job. That way you'll be making the full 40 hours a week. If not, see if you can try to start some kind of side hustle that is in the service industry, because usually businesses that start in the service industries don't usually have high startup costs, if any at all. Remember, focusing on ways to make income is just as important as focusing on saving. Remember, if you're not creating good spending habits, then when you make that extra money, you're just gonna end up spending it anyways. So you have to make sure that you have financial goals first, and then you assess your situation and see how you can actually make more money. And when you do, you'll start saving way more. Creating good habits will help you stick to your financial goals. Another great way that you can save money is actually by using credit cards. For example, cashback credit cards are great. When you spend on necessities like food and maybe gas, you actually get some points back, which means a little bit of money back to pay off your balance. Not to mention, it's actually going to help you in the long run for your credit score, as long as you pay off your credit card at the end of every single month. Now, there are a lot of $0 fee credit cards out there, and you can get credit cards for as low as $500 credit limit. But you need to remember, when it comes to credit cards, you better be good at paying it off before the end of every single month. If you're not, don't even bother getting one. Just stay away from that until you've created good spending habits. All right, guys, so now let's recap. Number one, you have to write down a list of all of your expenses and organize them from wants and needs. Number two, make a list of goals and focus on saving money on your needs like housing. 3, automate your savings account, so then you don't actually have to transfer money from your checking to savings. Instead, it's just automatically done for you every single payday. Number 4, get a tracking app on your phone to track your budget and your spendings. Number 5, figure out if you're a task setter or a goal setter so that you can cater towards that. And number 6, use the 50-20-30 budget rule as a guide to start off. And number 7, if you can trust yourself with paying off your credit cards at the end of every single month, then go ahead and look into getting a cashback credit card. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this video. I really hope that my guide helped you guys and hopefully will set you on the right track to saving money. If you've watched my video this far, then please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and comment down below if you have any questions at all. I would love to answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it very, very much. My goal in this channel is to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you make that happen, I'd be very grateful for you. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck. Take care.